Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may Brahman protect us. May it nourish us. May we work in harmony with great vigor. May our study be illuminating. May we not cherish ill feeling towards each other. Om, peace, peace, peace. So in our prayer, we always say, may Brahman protect us and may it nourish us. So this is all about spiritual protection and spiritual nourishment that is prayed for. Unless we are protected, we will deviate. We will be subject to all sorts of uncertainties. So this protection is needed, that my mind becomes one-pointed, and may you protect that my mind is able to grasp the truth of the reality. And for that, we need to nourish, we need to be nourished, strong, healthy. And in Vedanta, the instrument of knowledge is intellect. And intellect is supported by mind or distracted by mind. When intellect is well protected and well nourished, mind becomes subservient to intellect and does not disturb or cannot disturb the intellect from the pursuit that I have taken. So the prayer is, I myself may not be able to really focus. I need your blessing also, O the Supreme Reality. So that's why may we be protected and may we be nourished. And then it says that may our study be illuminating. Studying a subject may have many purposes. One of the purposes is to just enjoy what scriptures want to say. Oh, reality is like that. It is all pervading. Everything is made of that one reality. It is one without a second. Just an intellectual satisfaction of trying to find an opinion, as if Vedanta is an opinion, a philosophy among many philosophies, which will say the truth is one and it appears as many. Truth is not two. There is no duality, there is oneness. So you enjoy that, enjoying the philosophy of Vedanta. That is not my goal. Another goal can be, I learned Vedanta, many people find it difficult, I somehow grasp with the intellect, and then I will explain. People will come to me, I will explain the Vedanta, and people will say what a great scholar that person is. And I will get name and fame. He is a great scholar, that person explains very well, but that is also not our goal. Our goal is to make our intellect illumined. May our study illuminate us. May we really, our intellect become transformed. May our vision of the world be transformed. That is the prayer done, the third prayer. Purpose of my study is not to be famous, not to have mere intellectual pleasure, but I want to transform my vision of the world. And with that attempt, I just want to transform the vision of the world. I want to see it as one. And for that, if all is one, what to work more? There is a chance of being inactive, being lethargic, misunderstanding the purpose of the Vedanta, that Vedanta may mean that you don't have to work, you don't have to do things in the world. Remember, Sri Krishna said to Arjuna, Arjuna, you have to perform the work as the world is performing. They work with ignorance, you will work with knowledge. They work saying that I and me, you will work with knowledge that everything is God. So it is with knowledge, but you have to work in the same way. Externally, Jnani and Ajnani dealing with the world will look similar. That's why the prayer is, may we not hate each other. May we love all and work with all vigorously. It's the word given translation is vigorously. So, because that is very important part of Vedanta. Vedanta is very connected to this world. It doesn't say much about, it doesn't want us to go to other world at all. It says, Ihaiva tairjitah sargo, as Gita says, here itself you have to go across of sarga, of this world. Here itself we have to get mukti, not after death. Ihaiva tairjitah sargo, how can that happen? Esham samme sthitam mana, by establishing your mind in equanimity. Samme. This samya is a beautiful word, but some philosophies came to make it equal and physically equal with all qualitatively equal. That equality is not meant here. Equality in spiritual awareness. That is needed. Otherwise, human beings are all created differently. We are born with our prarabdha, with our samskaras. We all cannot be equal. We all cannot think equally. We all cannot work equally. So, this unequalness in the world, that will be remaining. Individual difference will be there. You cannot make that equal. So, what is equality? Equanimity in spiritual awareness. We are basically at the source, we all are equal, there is no difference. But this manifestation of Brahman as intellect, as mind, as samskaras, as physical body strength, physical body appearance, all those need to be, they have to be different in the world. World creation means variety. So every individual will be different from the rest of the world. So that is what meant by samya, esham samya sthitam mana. So mind should be established in equanimity, and then we'll be able to, with that equanimity, we will see the difference. We will find a different attitude, but we will not hate anyone. May we not hate anyone. May we not treat other person as really totally unrelated to me, because everyone is my own self. It all binds us together spiritually. As a self, if we find everything is my own self, that is the spiritual awareness. Though looks different, though have different qualities, though there is separation, but in reality there is no separation in the soul. As the soul, we all are same. Vedanta, the Advaita Vedanta will say, not that our souls are same, that my soul and your soul is the same thing. No, it is one soul that appears as you and me. It is not equal, soul is equal, but it is only one self, one Atma that appears as many. So that's why the prayer is, may we be protected, may we be nourished, may we work with harmony, may we not hate anyone, and may our study be illuminating. May the purpose of our study is to illuminate, to transform, to change the attitude, vision of the world and vision of myself. What is the change we want? We want to know my real nature, who really I am. Am I hand? Am I eyes? Am I mind? Am I intellect? Who really I am? So the question to find oneself, when you find oneself, my real nature, then we get the answer, yes. The more we go deeper within ourselves, the more we get connected with others. The more we see only external, more we find only difference. So Vedanta will say, you may see the difference externally, but that is only appears as difference. In reality, we all are one. So you enjoy being with all different kinds of people, different kinds of attitude, but basically all are one. It is like a drama being done, being played in different roles. Everyone, your own self, is playing drama in different roles. What a beautiful love, attraction, affection will establish in the humanity by this Vedanta. Very practical philosophy that can be experienced and practiced in life, and this life-centered, human-centered, that is the Vedanta philosophy. Vivekachudamani is one of the finest treatise on Vedanta, which tries to explain what really Atman is and how can we really understand that I am spiritually one with all. Teacher went on explaining so many verses. From verse 213, he went on explaining until 478. What is Brahman? How will you get it? So many verses, whole book is the teaching. Before that were some questions of the student. Teacher will not explain without questioning. How will he know what you want? How much deep you want? So the depth he will go by seeing the inquisitiveness of the student, worth of the student, the quality of the student, that as he finds the quality of the student is better, he can grasp, he can take, he's ready to accept, then he goes more deeper into his own knowledge, into own experience, and tries to disseminate that, distribute that. If they find real worthy student, they will give everything that they have. Reference Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekachudamani. Sri Ramakrishna saw Swami Vivekananda is unique. He is there ready to become like myself. In fact, he is ready to become my receptacle and spread all over the world the message that I have somehow by God's wish, God. And then he gave everything to Swami Vivekananda through teaching, through guidance, and through spiritual transmission. He gave everything to Swami Vivekananda. And when he gave everything, what was his condition? He started crying and to express that I have given you everything, not held anything from you in the teaching, in the guidance, in the spiritual awareness, in the power, whatever spiritual power he has attained, he gave everything, and he said to express that I have given fully to you. He said, I have become a beggar. That means I have given everything to you. And he was crying. That is, crying was not because he became a beggar and he had nothing, but because he was very happy to find a student who can really hold the whole of the teacher. And he gave everything. This being beggar is just an expression that he gave everything. That doesn't mean he has nothing. He has everything. Vidya is such a thing that even if you give, it increases. It never finishes. The knowledge is that. Being I have become a beggar, তোমাকে সব দিয়ে ফকির হয়ে গেলাম, is to express that I have given you everything that I had. The knowledge, the spiritual power, everything I have given you. Why he gave? Because he found the right student. Here also, how many verses? From 212 to 478. Whole book almost. Teacher went on saying to the student, because the student had asked 7 questions, who is Brahman, how to find it, like that. But yeah, he is really, this boy, this is has the quality to understand, eagerness to know. So that's why he said all these things. It is not the real student and teacher, it is all Shankaracharya. One person, like people write novel, so many characters they bring out in the novel writing. Some is good, some is bad, some is quarrelsome, some is friendly. All from one person's mind all come. Here Shankaracharya is making student worthy, teacher full of knowledge, and the questions, all the Shankaracharya putting like making novel. The scripture is made in that way, then it becomes interesting. People feel like studying. Oh, he's asking, let us see what will be the answer. Let us see how teacher explains. Then we feel like studying. Otherwise, the scriptural study, the Vedanta is, for many it is very dry. Always saying Brahma is truth, all else is false. And we can't relate with that. Brahman is truth and all else is untrue. So, to make it interesting so that they can grasp, Shankaracharya found that. It's not only Shankaracharya, even Upanishads, even the rishis of the Upanishad, they all brought out some stories, like Nachiketas. Nachiketa went to the Yama. That is just a story they brought. Oh, somebody going to a god of death? What will happen? We find interesting. Then we go on reading, oh God, what talk was there? Asked 3 boons. What are the 3 boons he asked? How did he give? Oh, how was he happy? That student he find Ashcharya, Vakta, Kusalapsa, Labda. What a great teacher who is preaching. And the extraordinary student. Then when this meet together, then comes the knowledge. And that knowledge doesn't only go from teacher to student, but it is spilled over, all over. And we get that. Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta. Partha is the calf. And Partha is the calf. And what is the jnana? It is Gitamritam. And who is milking the cow of Upanishad? Upanishads are the cow. And what comes as the milk from the cow? Gita. And who is milking? Sri Krishna. But for whom? Who will be really drinking the milk? Not for calf. Little starts and it is taken away. The real enjoyer of the milk are the people who own cow. Here, that is what is spilling over. Sudhi Bhokta, all the wise people, they are the real enjoyer of the Gita. For them is the Gita. For them is the transmission. Vivekananda is produced not for Vivekananda. Sri Ramakrishna didn't train Vivekananda for Vivekananda. Rather he said, no, you can't do that. You have to go and preach and work hard and suffer. Whatever has to come, it is for all the human beings. This tapasya's fruits are to be disseminated. You are just a disseminating person. Like that is the Gita. Arjuna and Krishna, it just happened that he told. But it was meant for the Sudhi Bhokta. Here Vivekachudamani is for all of us who want to know about the truth, about the Brahman, about our own self, about the reality. Otherwise, this life, being born, and just after a few years, then we die and finish. So what is the purpose of this life? If there is something substantial that we get, that we remain. After you die, nothing remains. It's like a mud that you break and mud is broken. Like that is our life. When we die, nothing remains. Then what is the purpose of life? Life is useless, meaningless. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said, if there is no God, what is the purpose of this life? It is just insignificant thing. Whether it dies today or dies after 50 years, doesn't matter. I don't want to live such life which has no core, no substance, just eat, drink and then pass the days and then you die and finish everything, nothing is there. Mother said, no, life is, the soul is permanent. You can die that way. Body dies. That's what Sri Ramakrishna had heard and he experienced that. Let us see what the Guru is teaching to the student. In verse 476 that you had studied, I think earlier, it is said, Tatastita bodhayanti guravah shrutayot yatha pragyaiva tared vidwan ishvara nugrihitaya. How we can overcome this ignorance that I am individual, separate from the world, this is individual, separate from everything. How this ignorance will go and how I can find equanimity, union, unity in this diversity. It is very easy to say, difficult to experience, difficult to practice, and extremely difficult to experience. That unity in diversity, that's what the Vedanta is. All different looking thing, there is unity inside. How to find that unity that is not perceived by the senses? So, it says, Tared Vidwan. Vidwan, the wise person, is Tared. He can go across this. What is that going across? Ignorance. not able to find, not able to grasp the oneness, only seeing the variety, that one, he will go across that Tared Vidwan. How will he go across? How to find that truth which Shastras say, which is not caught by the intellect, which is not reached by the senses, which is not can be spoken of. How to find that subtlest thing, which is the truth of myself, which is the truth of the universe, which is the real stuff. How to find that? There are 4 things this verse says. To find that, you have to be tatasthita bodhayanti. He understands, the wise person, bodhayanti. He really grasps that. Tatasthita, like staying in the tata. Tatasthita, not in the river, it's not flowing. He is aside and he can watch the river flowing, standing at the bank. That means a tatastha, standing on the bank. Then he can see the flowing river. He is not flowing with the river. If you flow with the river, you will not understand that you are the truth, unchangeable, inseparable, unmoving. So the tatasthita vidwan bodhayanti, he understands, he grasps, he knows, he is able to experience. How? 4 things.
What is number?
It is 476. First is Gurava. Teacher said, Atma is one, Shruti. Teacher has said, Atma, you are the self, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not Panchabhuta, you are not Indriya. You are that self, that where comes the sense of I, bereft of everything, just the I. That you are the self, pure I. That is the self, untainted, uncontaminated by any other idea, any other desire. That is the self, real self. That is heard from the teacher, Shrutaya. First, Shruti. First is that. Always you have to listen that or read that. Then Guru, from the teacher, you heard the truth. Then another factor comes, Guravo, the Shrutayo. Then the Shruti will say, Guru said, okay, Guru said by like that, or it has been experienced by other also. Is there proof in the history that what Guru has said is experienced by others? You are the unique. Buddha attained Bodhi. Was Buddha alone attain Bodhi? Nobody can else attain? Then that is no proof. That is not the truth then. Buddha said, I have attained, you also can attain. Sri Ramakrishna said, I have seen God and you also can see God. That's why Shruti says, historically, people have experienced and they have also said the same thing as the Guru says, that it is a state of ultimate bliss, all desires are fulfilled and you have no more desire left and the life, your human life becomes just blessed and becomes purpose is done if we can realize the self. And there have been so many rishis. Shruti says, all these have realized. Guru also seems to be realized. So, 2 things happen. Bodhayanti gurava shrutayo tatha. Yatha. Pragyayaiva. The third is, now through pragya, he also or she also is able to grasp the truth through pragya. Pragya is a wonderful word. It is intellect, very purified intellect, which has been purified in the fire of Viveka and Vairagya. Intellect that is so purified is not tainted by any selfishness, any desire, any ignorance. It is just bright, brilliant intellect. That intellect, that person, the student itself is able to grasp something through the spiritual practice. How this pragya will develop? This intellect, buddhi itself will develop into pragya. The knowledgeable person will develop into wise person through the practice of sadhana. What is sadhana? Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Satka, Sampatti, Mumukshutta. I want freedom from this attachment to this world, fearful life, and having such desires that really don't happen. Always trying to remain as it is. As today we are, youthful body, my parents, my family, my children, it will be always like this. This is a tainted wish which doesn't fulfill. So that is the absence of prajna. There is emotionalism, buddhi is not there. In this changing, flowing, moving world, everything is changing. Nothing will remain. Nothing will remain. So that type of wisdom becomes prajna, which understands the world is flowing, changing. The soul doesn't change. The human being seems to be weak, sick, diseased, old, dying. But nothing, it's just appearance of the matter, of the nature. The real person doesn't change at all. Even in death, it is all life. There is no death of the person. So like that prajna comes. So prajna eva. There is the fourth factor to realize this. You have fantastic intellect, you have practiced viveka, vairagya, you are not attached to anything. You have the capacity to understand the subtle truths of the Vedanta. And you have fantastic guru who explained to you. You have studied the shastras, of your own shastra, maybe other shastras. But still there is one factor which will hold you from realization. What is that? If you do not have Ishvara Anugrihitaya, God's grace. In gospel you will always find Sri Ramakrishna saying, you will definitely realize God, cry for God, weep for God, and have tremendous love. Love Him like a woman loves her husband, love Him like a mother loves her child, love Him like a miser person loves his possession, his wealth. Love Him with all these three strong attraction of love put together. They'll make it one directed towards God. And then, by God's grace, you will realize Him. By God's grace, that is very important factor. Even if you have everything, without grace doesn't happen. And when it happens because of the grace of God. That we must remember. Even our success in life, we see this happen. So who was saying? C.K. Chindlo? Who was that? Oh, Swami Chetananji was saying. Someone said, Abhijit Banerjee, this is our Nobel laureate. So he was asked, how did you get Nobel Prize? That's such a great, and you did so fantastic theory in economics, and what made you get Nobel Prize? He said, there are so many people, you see how wise, so many people who are doing research. They are intellectual scholars like me. There are many. Somehow this came to me. Food was hanging, you see, milk was hanging with the threads. That shikem is thread. And cat was trying to have some yogurt and some milk, but he was not getting, all hung in the ceiling in the house. And somehow one day that thread, the rope that was holding the thing, that snapped, and it fell where the cat was, and cat got the food. By chance it happened, by luck it happened, by God's grace it happened. He will not say God's grace, but he was chosen. We all are chosen like that. Whenever we have some success, we write a fantastic article, we give a great lecture, we make a wonderful word that I am praised. We should not forget that. There is the factor, fourth factor there. That is most important factor, and that is the grace of God. Ishvara Anugrihitaya. Without that, success is not there. To have the success being chosen, it is not I that was doing, it was given. You didn't achieve. Achievement was showered on you. It was given on you. So these four factors, they work in our success. So without Ishvara Kripa, nothing happens. That is the gist of verse 476. Now, in verse 477, again it says how it is obtained. So the teacher is explaining, how can I have, one has knowledge. Swanubhutya swayam gyatva swamatmanam akhanditam samsiddha sammukham tisthen nirvikalpa atmana atmani. The Atma, how one Atma is understood, how this Atma is seen, realized. It is realized first by Swanubhutya. having one's own experience. Atman cannot be explained. By explaining, listening to the talk, YouTube and talks in the class, Atman cannot be realized like that. It has to be realized by our own self, Swanubhutya, Swa-anubhuti, self-realization, that is very important. By self-realization, Swanubhutya, Swayam Gyatva, you know by yourself. All these factors are there, but knowledge has to come to yourself. Food is cooked and it is served. Still you will not get a nourishment. That food has to be eaten and food has to be swallowed by you. Food has to go into your system. One there it has to be digested. Only then it will give you nourishment. Otherwise everything is done. It also has gone inside, but no digestion, no absorption, then it will not give fruits. So that's why Swayam Gyatva, it have to be done by yourself. Who will digest food? In your body. Your body has to digest. If you consider yourself as the body, you have to digest the food. Otherwise nobody can help. No parent, no friend, no one can help to digest the food. You have to digest. That's why Swayam Gyatva. Swamatmanam akhanditam. And by knowing that, one is established in one's own self. Swam Atmanam, one's own self. So then not the self of other, he gets established in one's own self. What type of that self? Say akhanditam, undivided, not myself and yourself. It is one self. One gets established one's own self, all difference is gone. Start seeing everything as his or her own self. Akhanditam. Samsiddha, perfected person. This description is about the perfected person, Samsiddha. Sri Ramakrishna said that there are 4 kinds of people as far as spiritual, interest in spirituality is concerned. One is called Pravartaka, who finds little interest, just started, beginner, novice. He knows that, there is something called spirituality. It is the real source of joy. I should try to find that. Pravartaka, just listening that. That Pravartaka, the second one is called Sadhaka. Now he has started doing, or she has started doing spiritual practice. Tries to think about the Brahman, tries to meditate, whatever path that person has taken, or tries to pray to God, or tries to serve others unselfishly, even with selfishly also, even with name. First service has to be done slowly, that is the sadhaka. First starts serving others, little selfishness, that will slowly go. You say, when I'll truly become unselfish and I will not feel any desire in serving, then only I will serve you. Then you will not be able to serve. When you go on serving others, feeding others, working for others, little selfishness may come, little sometimes unpleasant feeling may come. I am here working so much and all are gossiping, all are having some fun, all ate and went away and I am going on working. That feeling may come. With that feeling, if you stop, everybody has gone and doing, I am not going to cook. Friday only I have to cook. I come, Neelam will say, Aparna will say, Friday I come and I do, and all are doing praying, some singing. After that they come and eat. Why should I do? If that is thought, then she will not cook. Even with that thought may come, going on cooking, then you find joy in feeding. People come, eat, nothing is needed, no praise is wanted. That becomes sadhaka. Then after this sadhaka comes, you start enjoying. Goal is fixed. I have to realize the truth. I have to know the self. Why know the self? Because without that there is no purpose of living. Everything else is just useless. All our glories and good life and all that is useless. Live here for some time, be a rich person, and after that, like ayati, everything gone, no enjoyment, all finished. And not that sons are there like ayati son, they will give their youth to you. Or what? Why will you want others' youth and make your son old? You're not selfish like ayati. So we will find that life is gone. I enjoyed so much, finished, so much money in the bank, so many desires still left. I couldn't see this place. Machu Picchu is not gone. Now I cannot move. I'm old, pain in my knees, and the life is gone. What useless life? So that's why they say that no, life is useful. We have to find the truth. So in that way, sadhaka becomes practicing. God has to be found, reality has to be found, truth has to be found. I have to find the core. They say all desires are fulfilled. So desire of going Machu Picchu also fulfilled when you find Brahman, when you find God. Whatever desire, I want to have big gold bangles. All those desires will be fulfilled. How God will give bangles? He will not give bangle, but He will remove the desire. You don't have any want to have the bangles, don't have want to go to Machu Picchu. All is fulfilled by negating, removing, and you are a happy person. Till the desires bog down you suffer. Oh, I didn't have that, I have this. So when desire is gone, then all is joy. That is the joy of Brahman fulfills all our desire in that way by removing these petty desires, which even is not fulfilled, one day itself it goes. You have a thick bangles you want to do, after some time it doesn't happen, not so much money. Why? After some time you realize, why to spend money having bangles? It doesn't look good also, it's heavy, difficult to wear. No, even if someone gives, I will not buy bangle. So like that, it happens. One husband said to wife, wanted big gold bangles studded with diamond. And then husband, one day in her birthday, he presented, as she had wanted, design, precious and all that. After that, that wife didn't talk with husband for 6 months. Was it fake bangle, fake diamond? No, all were real. Then why didn't she talk? Because that was the deal with the husband. Husband said, I will give you, but you will not talk 6 months with me.
Sorry?
That was the deal. Husband had said, if you can keep quiet for 6 months, then I will give you that. So she got and she kept quiet for 6 months. So like that, desire fulfilled. No, she doesn't have to talk, she doesn't have to walk anything. Desire fulfilled for 6 months. After that, all desires are being put in the mind, all are being written. After 6 months, you will understand again. So that way, Brahman fulfills all our desire by removing the desire. So then Siddha becomes perfected, he understood. So here also it is Siddha. Sri Ramakrishna brings one more category of spiritual aspirant, person is interested in spirituality. And what is that? He says Siddher Siddho, the perfected, the most perfected among perfects. So those persons are those most perfect are different class by themselves, like Ishvara Koti. Class by themselves they are. They just are not done by spiritual practice. They were born with such qualities that they made higher class, one class by itself. Ishvara Koti, Siddher Siddha. That there are also people like that. They don't have to practice much, but they attain higher state than by those people who practice that. Sri Ramakrishna, Totapuri initiated him into Advaita Vedanta. Brahman is truth, and everything is changing reality. So he reached there. And then Sri Ramakrishna said, oh, I can't. He tried to meditate. Then he said, I can't meditate on formless aspect of God, Nirgun, Nirakar, Brahman. Totapuri said, what happened? He said, oh, whenever I try to meditate, my blissful mother comes in my thought. I cannot leave her. I cannot go beyond that. She is my life. She is my greatest love. I can't go beyond leaving her. Her form appears and I cannot leave her. Totapuri said, why it can't happen? He found one broken glass lying on the ground. He put that and pressed it between the eyebrows and said, now meditate here on this pain. Sri Ramakrishna started meditating. And again mother came, blissful form of mother, with whom he lived, whom he fed, with whom he walked, with whom he talked. Everything was mother for him. That time he said, I used discrimination as the sword and cut that form into two, and my mind soared high immediately. Kore chole gelo. It soared at a speed. It went there and established in the formless, qualityless aspect of Brahman, Nirgun, Nirakar Brahman. Now Totapuri was thinking that he is trying to meditate. After some time, 1 hour, 2 hours, he will come down, mind will come down. The night passed. Next day, whole day, Sri Ramakrishna is sitting like a log. Night, second night, third day, third night. This Totapuri thought, what type of miracle is this? What took me 40 years to practice, this person here did in 3 days. Being established in total Nirvikalpa Samadhi, in the awareness of Nirgun, Nirakar, Brahman, in 3 days attained perfection. What I took 40 years to practice. Totapuri was Siddha, perfected being. Sri Ramakrishna was Siddha. He was born with perfection. Little help, little kindling, candle was ready, little light, done. And we are like wood, matchstick and foo and all that. Fire is not catching, lot of smoke coming, and still if we struggle, then maybe some blaze will come with lot difficulty. Sri Ramakrishna is dry wood. Come, little fire, you have to meditate, done, finished, fire blazing, fire of knowledge. That is Siddha. But if we are not born as that, even if we are the Pravartaka, Sadhaka, we can become Siddha. After becoming Siddha, realization will be similar. There is no difference. That's it is called Sam Siddha. Here also Siddha has given an adjective for Siddha. Sam Siddha, Samyak Rupena Siddha. Very perfectly perfect. That's what the Shankaracharya also says, that person. Sammukham, here the word comes, Sammukhan Tistet. He stands face to face. Face to face with whom? With the self, Nirvikalpa Atmani. Face to face with the self. What is that? Face to face, you are there, mirror is there, then the self, then there is two. Where is one? It is just expression face to face. Sammukha is not real Sammukha. Identified with the self, that person, I am, that Atman is expressed as Sammukha. Not that he sees self. Self is different, you are different, not that. It's not the mirror image at all, but identification with the self, it has been done. What type of self? Nirvikalpa Atmani. Atmani which is Nirvikalpa, which has no other alternative. Atman alone abides. There is only Atman. Swami Vivekachudamani says, everything is just the self. Nothing else exists, none else exists. All is self, none else exists. Sing high that note, sannyas in bold, say Om, Tat Sat Om. Om, that alone is the truth. And what is that Om? That is I. That is true self. That alone is truth. Everything else is appearance. That alone abides. That alone remains. Everything will vanish one day. Everything will vanish. That Atman alone abides. This state he remains. Nirvikalpa Atmana, divisionless self. One without a second. No part, no other, no image. It is one without a second. What a beautiful expression. So the Guru teacher is saying, if you do that, you will come face to face with yourself. You will be established in yourself and you will experience by yourself. What type of self? Akhanditam, indivisible. It cannot have any part. That type of samsiddhi you will get. Just you need to practice, my dear students, and you have the capacity to do that. Human beings are given so much of power, so much of qualities that we can even attain God. We can even attain the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. We can have the Brahma Jnana. That all we can do. So much of power is given to us. Just we have to utilize. We have to utilize that thing. Even the science says our brain is given so much power to understand, to learn, that to use it, we human in our life, we give only a fraction of the power of brain that is given. Who gives power to the brain? It is the source, it is the self. If brain has so much power given by the self, illumined by the self, how much power will be the self? Just we don't connect with that source, infinite source, and things don't flow out. What is the flow out? Love, knowledge, and service. If we connect with that, it will just flow. Pipe is already there. That self is that. When we find oneness, service, loving service will come, knowledge will come, then fear will go away, and everything will be inundated with equanimity. We all are one. Division will cease. Hatred will go away. Fear will go away. Worry will go away. And dividing the world into friend and foe, into like and dislike, they all will vanish. Everything will become acceptable as different play of the self. Some are friendly, some are unfriendly. What does that matter? To become some friendly, some have to be unfriendly. To be there day, there has to be light, night. So like that is all we start accepting only if we get connected to the self. There is no one, nothing, no idea, no person becomes really irrelevant or objectionable. Nothing. Okay, that also happens. That is the spiritual power that it makes us established in equanimity. That is the person of a samsiddha person's quality. Verse 478. Vedanta siddhanta niruktiresha brahmaiva jita sankalpam jagatcha Brahmaiva jiva sakalam jagatcha akhanda rupa sthitireva moksho brahma dvitiye shrutaya pramanam. Vedanta siddhanta niruktiresha. This is now at the final teaching. The Guru is giving the last in the gist. Vedanta siddhanta nirukti. In essence, this is the teaching of Vedanta. What is the teaching of Vedanta, essence of Vedanta? Brahmaiva jiva sakalam jagatcha. This jiva is Brahman, and all this world, Jagat, is Brahman. There is nothing other than Brahman. Dividing between self and non-self, first he started that. What is non-self and what is self? Now he is saying everything is self. Jiva is the self, Brahman is the self. Everything is self being seen in a different way. Brahmaiva jiva sakalam jagatcha, also the world. Jiva is the I sense, that way I think I and you think you, that one. Brahmaiva jiva sakalam jagatcha akhanda rupa sthitireva moksho. And what is mukti? We feel bound. What is mukti? Akhanda rupa sthiti. Eva mukti. When we are established in indivisibility, we are not divided, you feel there is a feeling of oneness, then that is the mukti. Understanding that this universe seems variety, but it is the manifestation of oneness, and that one thing that manifests as the universe is my own self. That understanding itself is the mukti. When we understand that self does not die and everything changes, all this appearance is changing, we have to understand, be established in that, firmly convinced of that, and then that becomes mukti. That understanding itself becomes mukti. That's why it said, akhanda rupasthiti eva moksha. That eva, that alone is mukti. When you are established in indivisibility, that alone is mukti. Brahma Advitiye Shrutaya Praman. Brahma Advitiye. And that is Advitiya Brahma. Non-dual Brahma. There are no two. Only one exists. One without a second. Why they say Advitiya? Why it said Advaita? Why they don't say Eka Vedanta? Why they say Advaita Vedanta? Non-dual. Yeah, because one, if you say there is the chance of idea of two come, it say no two. After that you understand. No two means many or not one. So that is there. If we say one, that also becomes misnomer. Because one remains, means there is something called one. It's not like that. Truth is there. The truth is one or many or what we cannot express when there is only truth. It is inexpressible, unquantifiable. So that is why it is said Advaita Vedanta, non-dual. There is not oneness. It is beyond even oneness. Sri Ramakrishna sometimes says it is beyond many and beyond one, beyond Sakar, beyond Nirakar. Beyond Sakar we understand. There can be formless things, something like a sky. Beyond Nirakar, that means whatever concept of Nirakar we have, the truth is beyond that. We cannot conceptualize the truth. Truth is beyond that. To me, Akar, Sakar, Nirakara. You see, you are Sakar, you are the Akar, you are Nirakar, you are even beyond that. That is Sri Ramakrishna's Vijnanavada, some say. Shrutaya means this is Vedanta is that, and Vedanta is the proof as the source of knowledge. Knowledge we come by studying the Vedanta, and then we understand and get established. You will get established in Advaitiya Brahma, Advaita Brahma. That is possible for you, my student. And in the gist I said to you that Jiva, Jagat, all is nothing else other than Brahman. Shankaracharya at another place he says that Slokardhena Prabhakshami Yaduktam Grantha Kotivi. I will teach you in half a sloka. Sloka has two halves. Ardha sloka. Slokardhena Prabhakshami Yaduktam Grantha Kotivi. Millions of scriptures have spoken that I will give you the gist in half of the verse, not even full verse. Half of the verse. So I'll tell after that. I'll tell the story of another one story. So what is that half verse? Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Napara. Brahman is truth. Oneness, that real essence, that conscience, that is the truth, real. And Jagat, the world as it appears, is ever changing. It's not the truth. It just appears and goes like the flow. And Jivo Brahmaiva Napara. Every individual jiva, that you think individual person, is none other than the Brahman, than that truth that abides everywhere. There is no individuality, that is all one Brahman, that is the being. Jiva appears like that. Jiva is not to be very small. But what dies is the body. But in Brahman there is the light in every heart. So, Jivo Brahmaiva Napara, Aham Atma Brahma, I am Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that infinite, blessed, unchangeable, indivisible, that Brahman I am, never born, never dying, always established, that Brahman I am. That teacher says. Now, how the student understood, we'll study that in our next Vivekachudamani class. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu.